Hey folks, welcome to Coffee on the Corridor, and we are here at studio at the museum with Dr. Heidi Albidi of Bring Us Back to Nature. Dr. Heidi, as we all love to refer to her, is a naturopathic medicine doctor specializing in applied kinesiology, homeopathy, functional and herbal medicine focused on your health and well-being, making natural healing accessible, understandable, and functional for every person willing to learn. Hopefully I had that right, Dr. Heidi. So, Dr. Heidi, welcome to Coffee on the Corridor.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mark, for having me today. I'm excited to be here and talk to my community.
Tell us about Dr. Heidi and why you love what you do.
Absolutely. So, it's awesome. I just got back from a road trip to see my family in the Midwest. And you know what? They are why I do what I do. Because I didn't grow up in a family that knew health and knew, medicine at all. And I just saw my family getting sicker when they would go to the doctor. And I kept thinking, this can't be right. I know that, health should be everywhere and it should be a lifestyle thing and all of this. And so I started looking for options of, what to do and how to help people. I got into medicine kind of through babysitting and lifeguarding and, working in the American Red Cross Association all those years and going to college and just saying, well, I'm an athlete, so I guess I'll study the body and movement and kinesiology and all of this. And when I was in my second year of my undergrad, I went to a grad fair and found naturopathic medicine, and my jaw hit the floor. I dropped my books. I looked at this guy and I was like, what do you mean I can be a doctor and prescribe nutrition and homeopathy and hydrotherapy and all these words that I didn't even know what they were at the time, but I was like, this has to be a better answer for people. And it's a 4-year medical degree. You do an internship afterwards or residency, and you become a doctor afterwards. So that's what I did. And from that moment that I talked to that guy, I never looked back. I ended up changing schools. I changed my major. I went to finish my undergrad at CSU in Fort Collins, head in the right direction of I'm going to heal healthcare. And so that is really why I want to have this time with Conifer Radio, because I want to help my community first and get the word out there that hello, there's other options. Not only are there other options aside from pharmaceuticals, but there's other options than being sick or not feeling well. And some of us go to the doctor not feeling well and they say, well, your labs look great. You're fine. Let's just, keep doing what you're doing. Where people come into my office saying, my doctor says I'm fine, my labs say I'm fine, but I feel awful. And it's like, well, let's optimize this. And how can we optimize this? So that's where applied kinesiology comes into play, muscle testing, lab work, figuring out what is it that's the problem? I like to say that we are a mechanism, we are a machine, right? You can't just take one part of the machine out and expect that machine to run, right? So when we have a cardiologist or a gastroenterologist or an oncologist that says, well, let's just remove the tumor, or let's just, help the heart function better. Well, but what about the liver? And what about the GI tract? And what about the brain? What's happening with all of that? We can't dissect it and have it work the same way. So if you or anybody that you know is looking for a holistic approach, and when I say holistic, think of the word whole, right? We are a whole body. And if you want an approach that really looks at your whole body as far as what could be a problem and then what could be a solution, you need to look into natural healing, because our natural world is just that. It is a healing powerhouse. Look at where we live, right? We are in this beautiful forest that sometimes, hopefully not our forest, but forests out there, they burn. And what happens when they burn? They come back luscious and beautiful afterwards, because this system, God's system, this universal system, it knows how to heal itself. We are of planet Earth. How do you think that we don't know how to heal ourselves? We do. So that is the big, I don't want to say myth of medicine, but maybe secret of medicine that they don't want us to know, is that we have this ability within every cell in our body to heal ourselves. So let's do that. Let's heal. Let's heal together. Let's heal one organ system at a time. but with this whole body approach. And, that's what I bring to my patients, and that's what I bring to Conifer and Bailey, and hopefully the world, the rest of Colorado. We're just here to get the word out and, get this secret out that your body heals itself. We just need to put it in the right place, in the right environment, with the right, what I call chemicals. So whether that's nutrition or supplements or breathing good air, drinking good water, we need to have all those things on board, and health will come, whether you want it to or not.
Wow. And folks, she didn't have any of that stuff written down. I mean, that just came right out of her. Well, you can obviously tell that you have a passion for this and you believe in your practice. Regarding the mind and mental health and things like that, the mind and the body are one. What is your approach to folks who come in with potentially mental health issues that are now manifesting in their physical being?
Sure. So we're just going to dive into all the woo-woo today, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
And, I, with love, call it woo-woo, right? Only because it's very different than what we are fed in our society, right? What is the typical treatment for mental health in this society? It's a chemical change, right? They say you have chemicals in your brain that are not supposed to be there, or they're not the right levels. Let's give you more chemicals to change the chemicals therefore in your brain. Well, that's not really how I approach it. There are homeopathy. So that's one of the things I love is homeopathy, which you can think of as like cures like. So in Western medicine, in pharmaceuticals, we often do opposite, right? So we have antidepressant. You're depressed, we're going to give you the anti of this, right? You're sick, you need the antibiotic because you have that bacteria in you, we need the anti. Well, homeopathy is like cures like. So I like to give the example of coffee or a kid with ADD. So you have this kid who's jumping off the walls, right? He's can't sit still, can't focus. Right. Okay. So there's that kid there. And then
you're going to give him coffee?
Right. Well, you're going to give him a small, minute dose of coffee. Because if you were to drink coffee, right, and too much coffee probably would make you do the same, right? Jump off the walls. You can't sit still. You can't focus. And so if you take a small, minute dose of this coffee, and I'm talking, hundredths of a drop that you would put into water, and give it to that kid, it's like a mirror. And now the body, the vital force of the body is here to say, hey, something's going on in here. You should look into this and fix it, because we have this vitality, this vital force within us that is doing the healing power. We don't need to anti anything about it, right? We don't need to suppress that force. We want to talk to that force and say, hey, fix it. Like, this is your mirror here. You know what's going on, so you can shift that. So that's one of the things I like to do is homeopathy. The other more powerful thing that I do in my practice is called neuroemotional technique. And NET, or neuroemotional technique, is a way of using the meridians and muscle testing to say, here's the meridian that's blocked. Let's use lungs. Okay, the lung meridian has to do with grief. Through the muscle testing, we find that your lung meridian is blocked. There's grief that's going on in your system. Where was that sadness? And then I even asked the body a step farther. When was the first time you ever experienced sadness like this? And maybe it was when you were 13 and you lost your dog. And so we go into that time in your life when you were 13, you lost that dog. I walk you through a little bit of a meditation. You're touching acupuncture points and emotional release points. We almost let's say this emotion for you is this string, and this meridian is a string, and it has all these knots and kinks and curves in this string. We're kind of going through in this process and removing those kinks from the meridian. And it just opens up the floodgates, and yes, tears come out, and memories come out and everything, and people change in that moment. And the feedback that I get is that it's like 30 years of therapy in a 30-minute session, because we're just able to address the physical body, and we're not talking about it, and we're not changing chemicals. We're just saying, hey, there was something that happened in your life that was traumatic. Let's integrate it, right? We're not forgetting about it. We're just integrating it. And then let's say you have 100 stressful things that happened in your life. Well, we can go through and just integrate them and tell the body, it's okay. It's okay that you had this experience. You grew from that experience. We don't want to minimize it, but we don't want it triggering you. We don't want it to be the running from the bear that you're doing. And so we just say, hey, body, that's okay that that happened. I've moved on from that. I'm stronger because of it. Where's the next? Let's move to the next. And so, yeah, you want to talk about mental health? We have some really great ways. And I do work with psychiatrists and therapists in the corridor and work with their patients to say, hey, they've been doing this talk therapy, right, or EMDR or whatever for so long. Let's try NET. Let's try NET and homeopathy and see if we can just clear this from their environment. And boy, do people change. Yeah, fantastic.
That's some powerful woo-woo. Well, folks, again, we are here live at Studio at the Museum with Dr. Heidi Albidi. She is often referred to as Dr. Heidi of Bring Us Back to Nature. And her website is www.drheidialbidi.com. And you can see that streaming at the bottom of your smart device, folks, if you didn't catch that. Or you can call her by phone, also streaming at the bottom of your smart device at 970-279-3445. Dr. Heidi, we want to say, first of all, thank you for being an active part of our chamber, our community, for helping so many individuals that we both know live a better life. Is there any preferred method by which you'd like people to schedule an appointment?
You know, either one of those ways. You can look for it on my website. You can call or text that number. My amazing assistant, Janie, will get back to you very quickly. Even if you want to schedule a 15-minute consult and tell me what your big concern is, and I can kind of tell you the way that I would approach it and, you know, see if we're a good fit for each other or see if I can help you with, you know, the things that you're concerned about, struggling with. Yeah.
We appreciate your time this morning. It's been Coffee on the Corridor with Dr. Heidi, and we hope to have you back again soon.
Awesome. I will be back. Thank you, guys.